I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah. So uh, you can just comment down there and just notify me if ever there is any. Yeah, you will just notify me if there's anything to be the following. Could be sound, could be anything. Uh, Feel free to just comment there and just tell me about it. That won't be a problem. But other than that, I'm just gonna continue from right now. Okay, so I want us to just take a look at how the especially gold at this moment. I just want us to just take a look at gold, so so that we can have a great talk about it. So we're just gonna continue on gold. Let's specifically just have a recap of what happened last week. And we not even last week, I meant to say like from yesterday, right? What I specifically want is just comment down below and tell me if whether the network is good, bad, then I know what to do. But so what happened is that during Asian session yesterday, obviously, there was quite a misconception of what I saw on that led to me having pretty much an um, uh, indecisive in terms of like picking out the direction for gold specifically. Though at first it was too clear, but then it later on just became too indecisive as to where its price actually going based off I was lagging in terms of like having to mark out prices accordingly and having to stick on to one direction. So, but right now, I'm just gonna also give you out a simple way into knowing on how to go about trading gold during agent session and basically also knowing the daily buyer. So I'm just gonna keep it more simpler in order for you to understand it. Please rest assured you also practice what I'm going to be teaching you right now, right? So at first, there are three main key factors that you should be definitely looking at. So I had to sit down based off what happened yesterday, and I had to sit down and do more of like back testing of what of the supra into like really identifying the most important key factors that are crucial in terms of like trading gold, right? So with that being said, the first key factor that you need when it comes to trading gold is the following, right? So the first thing that you need it is most definitely your so what could you let me do this. Obviously, we are in South Africa, or rather I'm in South Africa, right? And these are the things that you need to know. Market opens at 23 hours something, right? But you're going to keep it straight. Market opens at 12 o'clock, right? Um, this is the time that market opens. So from that market open, just give me a second. See right. Just give me a second. We continue. Right. So as I was saying, market opens at 12 o'clock. Then the only candlestick that we need is the 15-minute candlestick of the day, right? Um, which is the candlestick that opens at 12 o'clock, but does what? The candlestick that opens at 12 o'clock and has to close at what? Has to close at 0 hour 15 minutes. Need that candlestick. Why do we need that candlestick? It's the candlestick that identifies a daily range. But mind, they are you're obviously going to encounter these problems. Those problems are the following. When it comes to this charts, right? We have different platforms, or I don't know how to call it. We have different platforms that you can go through in terms of like analyzing gold. Right? But what you're gonna be doing is pretty simple. Two things. It's not every day that you're gonna get a 0 15 hour candle, which is this kind of a candle. Friday, let's check Monday. Okay. Right. You see on this particular day, which was yesterday, we had a candlestick that opened at 12 o'clock and closed at 12:15, right? But then if you go back into other days, um, the candlestick is not present, right? Which is okay. That's not gonna be a problem. But I'm gonna show you on how to go about it. But basically, we need that where it's visible, you need to use it. But where it's not available, you're going to use uh, different markups. Meaning that um, if this candlestick is not present, uh, then the candlestick that you're going to be using is the following. You're going to be using not even a candlestick. You're going to be using this following prices. You're going to be using the previous day. Come on. You're going to be using the previous day. Uh, previous day. Yeah, let me say the previous daily. daily close, ne? Daily close, previous daily close, which is a candlestick at around 23 hour 45. This is the last candlestick that's present for the day. You're gonna need its closing price, meaning that it's going to be something like this. Remove this so that I can show you. It's going to be something like this. If you can look at currently, that that candlestick, it's a written what? It's Thursday, the 6th of March, which was at 23:15, and the following candlestick is what? It is what on Friday at 1 o'clock. So most of the time, if that 15 minute candlestick at 12 o'clock doesn't is not present, what you're gonna be doing is use this time. The closing price at 2:23:45, and then you're gonna go to this other following candlestick, which is the 1 hour. And then you're gonna go to the candlestick which opens at what? The open price of what? Of the 1 hour. 1 hour 00, right? Those are the only two candlesticks that you're going to be using. But you're going to be precisely using what? The closing price of the daily price. You're going to be using the previous day daily close and the the open price of 1 hour of the following day, right? But now let us go straight to the chart so that we can definitely do a little bit more of chart analysis and show you what is mostly important, right, when it comes to this. Okay, so on that particular candlestick, right, we need the 15, the 215, right? Not the 215 first. We need that 12 o'clock 15 minutes candlestick, right? Which yesterday was this one. But now on that 15 minutes candlestick, you're going to highlight its body. Yeah, you're going to highlight its body. You need to highlight the body part of the 15 minutes candlestick, right? So after you've highlighted that body identifies what? That body identifies the daily range. Okay, it identifies the daily range. All right, this is for gold precisely, right? It's going to highlight the daily range, but now after highlighting the daily range, you're gonna need only two times marked out on your chart, which is 215, which is the first candlestick that's printed within agent session, and you also need 3 hour 30, right? So you're going to be marking out this following prices. You're going to mark out a vertical line at 215, vertical line at 215, and as also as what? Wait, at 330, not 315. Also need to highlight at 330. So from those prices now, what you're going to be doing is those two prices are going to highlight what? They are going to highlight what we call the daily bias. These two vertical lines will highlight what? The daily bias. Daily bias of gold. That's what it's going to highlight. They're going to be highlighting the daily bias of gold. And then how do you go about the daily bias? there are different combinations to what you knowing what will be the daily bias, which overall there are only four. There are only four combinations that you need to know. Unfortunately, I can't share them all at once, but I'm just gonna strictly, I'll just show you the daily bias day to day out as to how it goes. But I'm just gonna be focusing on what's going on strictly on that day. So specifically on yesterday, the daily bias for yesterday was that. How do you then go about it? You're going to be looking at the 2 hour 15 candlestick, which is the first 15 minutes candlestick that is printed during avian session. What you're going to be looking at is that you look at its closing price, right? Its closing price was right there. I'm going to highlight it with a horizontal line. But now, what you do is you look at that's English. Sorry about that. What you're looking at is, did that 15 minutes candlestick close inside the range or below, right? Or above. Okay. So what you must keep in mind is, if the 15 minutes candlestick closes inside the range, is considered to be below. But if it closes above, it's above. So inside the range and below, they are one and the same thing. But if it closes above, totally different thing. But what happened yesterday was that the daily range, the Asian open and close was above the range. If it closes above the range, then you do what? You have to cancel what? You have to then cancel your 15 vertical line. Go to what? To 330. So at 3 hours 30 in South Africa, during Asian session, right? Gold, it's going to mark out its highest price or it marks out its lowest price. Are we together? So what happened is that yesterday during 3:30, uh, gold had already did what? Gold had already marked out its highest price, right? But we are not going to be looking at, did it actually highlight, did it actually mark out a high price or a low price? That's not what we are looking for. What we are looking for is the following things. We're going to be looking at the open price, like when it hits exactly 3 hour 30. That's why during 3 hour 30, you need to always be in 3 minutes time frame. You don't have to be at any other time frame. You need to be exactly in 3 minutes time frame, because in 3 minutes time frame, that's why you're going to be getting precise open prices, right? So we're gonna go to that 3 hour 30 agent session yesterday, so that you can see what exactly happened, right? So during agent session, exactly at 3 hour 30, what we look at is now the following. We look at, remember this horizontal line was what? This horizontal line represents the closing price of the first candlestick that's printed within agent session, right? So if and only if the if 3 hour 30, if 3 hour 30 open price is below, right? If it's below, let me write this. If it's below, then we're gonna have above as well, right? We're gonna have above, right? If it's below this horizontal line, right? It means that the daily bias already is bearish, right? And if it opens above, then it's bullish. So we're going to be looking at that exactly at 3 hour 30. So at 3 hour 30, if you look at it, price opened below the daily, the 15-hour candlestick, right? The closing price of it. So which makes it a what? Which makes it bearish. So if it makes it bearish, sorry about that. You need to go to 15 minutes time frame. So if it does close bearish, where were we? Where were we? Oh, here we were. This is where we were, right? If it then closes below the 15 minutes candlestick close price, it's bearish. So now here's the combination that you need to keep in mind. If price during Asian open closes above the daily range, and then the Asian 3 hour 30 closes below, then gold is what? The daily bias will be bearish. All right. So now, yesterday the daily bias was bearish. So I want you to look at what really happened from yesterday during that agent session up until the whole day, right? Let's look at 2 hour 15, 23:15. 23:15 was somewhere around 23. Oh, this one doesn't. Okay, this one the close price was right here. Okay, the closing price was right here. So look at the daily bias. The daily bias suggested that it was bearish. And look at what gold did the whole day. How was it? It was bearish. You see? So this key thing during agent session does highlight what's definitely going to be happening during agent session and also the whole day. That's why we call it a what? Daily bias. It gives out a daily bias. There are four combinations to what, but we're going to be doing an analysis on gold just to see the daily bias for this particular day, right? We want to just do a daily bias for this particular day. So moving forward, this was the daily bias. But now what you must keep in mind is that the daily bias will then go with what? Will then also go with what happens during what's this time? What happens during New York session? So New York session and also the daily range. So the daily range will also be embedded into New York session and also practically the whole day. Are we together? So right now we want to actually do an analysis on gold. Primarily, we are mainly focused on uh, two important things, right? I just want to look at some few time frames because I saw there was an analysis, but I don't know what it is. All right. We want to be doing the daily bias on gold. I hope that you took that into consideration and definitely understand what I mean about those key prices. So today we're just gonna be doing the daily bias again once more. Keep in mind the daily bias from yesterday was bearish. So if the daily bias from yesterday was bearish, we are also looking forward for a bearish movement again. And primarily we are also looking at the fact that we are into CPI week, right? So something else as well. So okay, let's then take a look at the daily bias for today. Daily bias on gold, right? Daily bias on gold. So practically we're focusing on the daily bias for only today. Okay, I just wanna change this one first. So what we want is to find the daily bias, right? We want to find the daily bias. We're gonna do the process once more. So we're going to be looking at the two at the first 15 minutes candlestick of the day, which is this one. What are we going to do? We are definitely going to be marking what? We're going to be marking its body. To mark out its body, this is the body of the 15 minutes candlestick, the 15-minute candlestick of the first day, right? Right. This is what we have. I extend it a little bit. Then We mark out two prices. What time is it? Right, there's only 10 minutes left, right? Which is gonna be 2:15, which is somewhere around here, and we're also gonna mark out 3:30. So that's what we need. So we're just gonna be looking at the daily bias for today, right? Okay, so just going to be waiting for practically, I think, not even practical, we're going to be looking at a candlestick that closes at around um, we're not going to be focusing on this particular candlestick. We're going to be focusing at 215, meaning that the candlestick has to open at 215 and closes at 3 at 230. Okay, so that's the candlestick that we're going to be focusing on. That candlestick is the most important one. And then from there, we're going to be moving towards um, the 230. And what you must keep in mind is that now that already the chances are that price could most definitely trade below the daily range. If it closes below the daily range, the chances are, if then at 3:30, if it closes above the closing price, then it's gonna be bearish, and if it closes below, it's gonna be bullish. Two things: it's below and up, it's bearish, and then if it's below and below, then it's gonna be bullish. So we shall return to gold. In the meantime, we need to just be taking a look at GBPJPY. We just have to be looking at GBPJPY. So we are going to be looking at GBPJPY for now. Okay. Then, okay, I'm just going to be trying to look at GBPJPY because of we are still trying to wait for the gold. Okay, so while we're still waiting for gold, I'm just gonna try. play some music while I'm still waiting for for that, because I want to play something while I am still waiting. So just gonna play a little bit of some music while I'm just doing an analysis on GBPUSD.